So Keir Starmer has expressed his love for the St George's Cross and the Union flag. He says he's always in front of a Union Jack and that he has a big England flag in his Downing Street flat. Yvette Cooper as well, the Home Secretary, has also been very enthusiastic about the flag. She says, get them out, hang them up, and apparently has loads of bunting in her shed. I mean, I'm sure it remains there, and she'll never have to bring it out. But
yeah.
Connie, what do you make of this? I mean, I'm fascinated by this sudden turn towards patriotism because I'm sure maybe people might not have suspected that was what Keir Starmer was into.
No, and I think it's extremely clever of them, actually, because they haven't bitten, and that's what everyone, I think, not hoped, but expected, and now they haven't. And that has been very surprising for a lot of people. And there's, it's like, oh, okay, they don't care. So I do actually think it's very clever of them to not, like Keir Starmer has in the past, shame everyone for being so-called far right.
Yeah.
They've just gone along with it, because how can you as a Prime Minister say anything other than, of course, the flag is patriotic? And as soon as you get into the weeds of the argument, it's like, well, what's the actual intention?
Yeah.
Then that's not going to do anything other than sow further division, and which apparently he is against, of course. So yeah, I think it's a very clever political move, to be honest, and I'm quite impressed by his advisors for once.
Although it's almost a little bit overcompensating. I think, Keir does protest too much a little bit, Tom. I don't know what you think.
No, I love the quotes where he was talking about, I love the England flag. It's a great symbol of our nation.
I'm very encouraging of flags was a really good, very normal thing to say.
No, this is from the heart. This is, I mean, it's the overcompensation. It's this fact that kind of reeks of desperation to a certain extent. It's kind of patriotic dad dancing to a certain, it looks inauthentic and cringe and a bit forced, which I think people can smell a mile off.
Everything about Keir Starmer feels like that. I don't think he could have said anything about this in a positive way that he could have gotten away with without someone saying, "Oh, this is clearly pretend."
But I think it's almost like show don't tell would have been a bit better. I think and the fact that they were making a point of not resiling from having the Union Jack at certain events and whatever and refusing to condemn people because they're putting England and Union flags up on lampposts and whatever is exactly the right move. But this kind of overcompensation has made them easy for attack because I don't think there's anything they can do to get over the sense that they're not particularly, whether it's not they're particularly patriotic, but there is certainly a cultural cringe about the way most people express their patriotism. If that makes sense. But there is this climate around the liberal left establishment in general, which resonates very much with that old George Orwell line about there's a certain type of intellectual who'd rather steal from the call box and sing the national anthem. That kind of exists. And as much as they try and make up for it, it just, I think, continues to show that they don't really get it, or that they feel the need to it almost becomes slightly patronizing after a certain point. It's like, see, I'm just like you, and it becomes a little bit cringe. But you're right insofar as it was good that they didn't come out and start saying, we all know what this is about. This flag is a far right symbol or whatever. But I don't think it would do them any favors. I don't think it would get them any credit in the bank just because it looks really kind of awkward. And I think it's another reminder of the kind of cultural chasm that exists between the government and the public who are furious with them. Yeah, I mean, the flag thing in general, I mean, just obviously, despite people trying to claim that this is a far right symbol, it's clearly a patriotic thing. But I also think it's a class thing, broadly speaking. When Emily Thornberry was sneering at that England flag, it was because it was hung over a white van. I think if that was up a flagpole on a country estate, she wouldn't have batted an eyelid about it. So I think it kind of maps onto a general sense of kind of fear and loathing of ordinary people as much as anything else. And it's impossible for them to get over. However much bunting they choose to put up, I don't think that'll be a bridge that they.
Yeah, and there's always, I mean, obviously Keir Starmer and Yvette Cooper have never said anything quite as bad as Emily Thornberry or shown that sneer quite so tellingly. But there is always the sense that, you think back to when Keir Starmer was asked, does he prefer Davos or Westminster? And he immediately didn't miss a beat, said Davos. That he prefers international law and international institutions, from the EU to the ECHR to our own, elected parliament as well. So there is always that sort of tension there. How much do they trust? How much they like Britain, how much they like the British people, how much they approve of British democracy, which is really the key question here.